What's going on, boys? Another life video. I'll give you a heads up on some of the things that are going to be happening in the next 3 to 6 months. However, this is a certified life playlist video, so I gotta explain the thoughts behind why I'm doing these things first. It's bad form to talk about things before they're certain, but we've been in odd form the last few weeks. So we'll start with a little bit of good news. My first not shit novel is moving into the getting or trying to get published phase. It's called Monkey Story. I would have called it Monkey Tale, but that would have been in really bad form, and I'm sure whoever picks up the novel or the manuscript will change the title anyway. Working title right now, the title I like is Monkey Story. I'm line editing it now, and I'm still working on the concluding paragraph because you gotta get the words right. Hemingway, if I'm not mistaken, no, it was Hemingway, I'm not mistaken about that. A Farewell to Arms. I think it was the beginning, that's what I think I might be mistaken about. He wrote and rewrote the beginning or the ending over 40 times until he got the words right. I know my novel's conclusion is not on that level, but I still want to make sure it doesn't suck. My first novel sucks. There are about 15 copies of it floating around from when I tried to self-publish it, and I refunded everybody's money on that. It was not good, which is why I'm so paranoid about this novel. I think it's going to be fine because my mechanics have improved like crazy, but that concern is always going to be there, especially considering this novel did not come from a good place when I started writing it. When I was a kid, I would spend hours and hours walking around outside coming up with stories. And I hated myself, and I never did anything with them. My first novel was the first time I ever believed in myself enough to do something. And even though it sucked, that's when I started liking myself a lot. But it never went anywhere because it stunk and I had no idea what I was doing. And I even wrote half of a sequel novel in hindsight for no reason because the first one went nowhere. And I was aggravated with myself for that. And the second one sucked even worse than the first one. I fell into a low in life, and I had nothing going on. I was terrified of the future. Still am terrified of the future, but really terrified of the future then. And I caught myself thinking about a story about monkeys. And when I say caught myself, it was more like yanking my own collar. I thought, what are you even doing? You have all this shit going on, and you're sitting here thinking about this stupid idea you're never going to do anything with. And even if you did something with it, it wouldn't even fill out a 10-page short story, and you can't even do that. You won't. You think you're a good writer, but your first 2 novels, or excuse me, your first novel and a half, sucked, so you shouldn't be allowed to imagine stories like this. Not right now. Not if you're never going to do anything with them, which you won't. And then I thought, well, you can go fuck yourself I am a good writer, and I'm such a good writer, I'll turn this shitty little idea into a full novel, and people will like it, and then I can do whatever I want. The novel comes from a nasty place on both sides, which is why I'm paranoid. Yet, if anything were going to get off the ground and start making my name, for some reason my gut is telling me this is the one. It's conventional enough to be approachable. It's unconventional enough people won't have seen anything like it, but it's unconventional in a way that feels familiar. It has everything working in its favor, and that I'm happy about. I'm almost certain this is going to become something. Now, hard shift into other life stuff. I've been thinking a lot lately about permanence. The way some things happen and never change for the rest of your life. I met a dude recently who was in his 30s and looked it. And his biggest goal in life was to get this middling promotion. And he was talking to me about Batman, and he wasn't talking about making it or becoming somebody. And his face looked so 30. And I look in my mirror now, and out of nowhere, one day, there are these brown blemishes underneath my right eye. I have no idea how they got there. I don't know what they are, but they haven't gone away, and I think they are there to stay. The guy was nice, and I hope I was able to be nice to him and make him feel happy, but all the time we were speaking, all I was thinking about were those blemishes under my eye, and how what he's talking about is this dude's entire life, and if I don't take a branch and start swinging, trying to get somewhere, that is going to be me, because once I get settled somewhere on something safe, something reliable, I don't move. The idea of that stresses me out, especially considering I can see in my face, I'm still young, but I'm starting to run out of time. I can't ignore time passing because it's on my face now, if you see what I mean. If you don't keep moving, you will end up stagnant and stuck, and that can easily become your whole one life. And then you die and that's it. And as I'm thinking about this, I'm thinking about other things that are going on. That bad night I had a while ago. I could have lied and not told my family about it. By the way, if you want to get anywhere in life, you should never be honest. You should always be phony. You should always lie. I told my family about what was going on and how I was feeling, what I thought about it, and something changed. Or rather, another thing changed. The last few years there have been a series of changes that haven't unchanged or haven't been smoothed over and never will be. Discussing what happened with my family was one of them. It bugs me because all I want is love and approval from my family, but to get that sort of approval, you have to be one or more of a few things. Disingenuous, or a full-blown liar, someone you're not, someone without sin, error, or individuality, which is actually individuality, is a bad word in my blood, or an image rather than a person. I try not to talk or think about my family too much these days because it's unproductive, but there are a number of people my age or younger around them who are the images of the sort of person they would have preferred to have had as a child. And I've always known that, but it's different now that those people are becoming adults themselves and climbing up the middling promotion I like Batman ladder. So my objective has shifted away from hoping to get approval I am not going to get to succeeding to the point, one, I don't need that approval, and two, it's impossible to argue that what I've accomplished is unworthy of approval. I've been avoiding speaking with my family since then because while most conversations make me feel like I'm a disappointment, now they doubly do. So I don't want to speak with them because it makes me feel like shit, but not speaking with them also makes me feel like shit. And I think unconscious stress has a bigger effect on people than I thought it did. My hair has been falling out. I haven't been sleeping well. And there's this low but constant nausea. No sort of food tastes good or sits right in your stomach. Water doesn't quench your thirst. Caffeine increases your heart rate without waking you up any. And at any moment, either just after eating or having not eaten in a while, you feel like you could vomit, but you never do. It's the strangest thing, and I hate it, and I want to succeed my way out of it. That INTJ guy and I are still friends, partially because I'm trying to prove to myself I can have friends, and partially because I think people with things wrong with them attract other people with things wrong with them. Have you ever met a normal, happy person with anything interesting to say? With anything interesting going on? With any real drive to get somewhere other people can't? INTJ dude doesn't have super high ambitions, but we at least have interesting conversations. I don't find Batman at just Batman level interesting. I don't find dogs interesting. On one level, this is all pretentious nothing shit, because if people are happy, they're doing something right, and who is anyone to say anything against that? But on another level, if those sorts of things are absolutely and solely the things anyone should be doing or talking about, why isn't there that drive to do or talk about those things? Why are weird and ugly people more interesting to speak with, hold attention better, get more things done, get somewhere above what there is a clear path toward? I don't know, but getting trapped in what doesn't work for you or what makes you unhappy seems like a bad way to spend the one life you have that is already slipping away from you. What I want to do is become successful and make it easier for other people who think and feel the way I do not to get trapped in those lives feeling like you're worthless, feeling like you are trapped, like this is all life is and this is all it'll ever be. I'm convinced there is more to life and it can be gotten, and I want to be the one to make it happen and help people I like get out of it. To that end, I am beginning to put together the start of a self-perpetuating strategy. The requirements for Amazon self-publishing are stupidly low and simple. While I'm trying to get my novel published, I can publish short stories that are a little longer than most short stories, but a little shorter than most novellas. I can make them around 10,000 words, and I have ideas for 4 of them that will be prequels to my second idea for a major novel, which itself is part of a universe that I quietly set up in my first novel. Amazon recommends books and short stories, novellas, using an algorithm, and the algorithm prefers stories which succeed early in their publishing. I'll publish these short stories and make them cheap, so buying them won't be a big thing out of pocket. It'll be like the buy me a coffee thing, except you get something out of it. $1 to $3 is what most sources I've read recommend. My channel isn't huge, but it isn't a 200 or 300 sub channel like it used to be. If the novellas launches succeed more than not at all, which is what most short stories end up with, I am hoping the Amazon algorithm, will pick up the short stories and recommend them. Even if it doesn't, I can still plug my books in future videos, the major or larger videos, and get those books at least more attention than they would if I didn't already have a YouTube audience. Plug the novellas on the channel, get people over there. Plug the channel on the novellas, any new readers, come over here. The amalgamation keeps building. More so, maybe, if I do what I would like to do, which is hire an illustrator for a few illustrations, plug their channel, get some of their viewers, get them some of my viewers or readers, and make my novellas better in the process, and start doing what I would love to happen, which is start developing a form of entertainment in the States that is similar to manga. I know that's not going to happen, but it would be a start. I don't read novels, really. I read manga. If I knew how to draw, I would be making manga, not writing novels. If I can figure out how to incorporate the two, combine them, that's getting me closer to what I would ideally be doing, and maybe setting up a market for it. That's not going to happen that way, but god damn it, I would like it to. The novellas in and of themselves could be a sustainable racket. I don't see them making a lot of money, but they're not going anywhere. People can always find them and buy them. The most important thing the novellas accomplish is proving to publishers and agents I have an audience. And if I can prove to them I have a pre-established audience, it makes publishing long fiction, bigger stuff, a whole lot easier and faster. Traditional publishing takes years. Unless something crazy happens, don't expect to see Monkey Story anytime soon. But proving you can sell something makes it easier to sell something. If the YouTube and novella components mesh, I'll be able to start building royalties and then hopefully revenue while clearing the path for big royalties projects. In the meantime, while those are going on, I have skills I can be marketing. Napoleon Dynamite skills. I have a year of experience tutoring and editing. I have a bachelor's degree in English, graduated magna cum laude. I'm about to have a master's degree in English, graduating probably magna cum laude. I can edit and I can tutor. Maybe I set something up on Fiverr. I don't see that work being at all steady or profitable in the beginning, but it's the start of something. I spend a lot of time speaking a little with many ENTJs. Two words often come up in conversations with them: courses and coaching. I've always thought both were bullshit, especially coming from someone unaccredited, but it's like the proving you can sell thing. I have degrees with honors. I have work experience. I have books that sell. I have information people subscribe to hear about. I can sell an online course in creative writing. In fact, when I thought I was going to be a teacher, I put together an entire creative writing course syllabus to jumpstart people into writing not like trash. As for coaching and typing services, I'm a fan of neither, but how I feel doesn't matter if there are people who are willing to pay. If people are willing to pay, I can play the role and try to give them the best information I can. I'm not keen on coaching or typing services because that's so hard to quantify, and I don't trust anyone else to do those things for me but myself. But if I trust myself, then at least my information would be information I'm willing to back, which sounds like Ed, and Eddie scam horseshit because I think it is, but what does it matter? All these smaller ideas are things I think will make little to no, probably no, money, but they are things I can be trying to pad out my resume, as it were. One of the reasons I still try, one of the reasons I'm still alive, is life can pleasantly surprise you. Although there is all this precedent for the ways life can negatively surprise you, there's a whole lot of it. I have been pleasantly surprised before in ways I didn't think were possible. And if it can happen once, it can happen again. Normally, that phrase is used for negative things, but it can be used for positive things. I know nothing about vaudeville, but I like the idea of it. I've mentioned before, one of my favorite archetypes, or two of my favorite archetypes, are the grimy showman and the grimy salesman. I think they share the same genes, and I love those two figures. I will buy a product from a salesman, even if I know the product is dog shit, if they pitch it well enough. It's one of the reasons I love ESTPs as a type so much. They know how to persuade people. They know how to sell things. They have charisma. That's what I want to be, and I think, or not even I think, I know there is a way to do it because there is precedent for that, not only in so many people who are walking around every day today, but also in the past. Mark Twain, he was one of the first celebrity authors in America. He liked people like that. He talks about it in his books, and he became one. The dude had so much stuff going on, all born from writing, but culminating in a cult of personality that let him do whatever he wanted because he learned how to sell the image of himself. Even though people don't read these days, I think all it would take to develop a similar sort of success would be to make it, or make the path, multimedia, and thank God things are falling into place for once. I already have a YouTube channel, and I think my audience is solid even though it's small. Firstly, thank you for watching. Seriously. And two, I've always believed if you can get people to like you beyond the thing you're selling, you can sell them anything. Right? There are streamers you watch, maybe you like speedruns, you would not watch do anything else. Then there are people, streamers or YouTubers, you would watch doing anything because you like them. That is the sort of thing I have been quietly trying to develop, and I didn't know why or for what until maybe recently. It's why I don't make my videos prettier. If there is any reason someone could dislike me or not want to watch my stuff, I want them not to watch my stuff. I want them not to like me. I want them to go away. I want the people who are here to be in it. And I want them to be in it because when I succeed, I want to be able to elevate the people I care about. Which, fuck me, it's not my family. My family doesn't need me. It's not my friends. I don't really have friends. It's my viewers. It's you, my dearest boys. And if you still haven't figured it out, boys here is a genderless term. Now maybe I'll tell the quick story about that. For the first 4 years I was doing YouTube, my audience was 99.7% male. And I made an ASMR anime boy video as a joke because at the time anime girl ASMR videos were really popular. So I thought I would do a joke one as a male, not realizing anime boy ASMR was a whole thing, and my audience, or my demographics, went from 99.7% male to like 60% female for about a week. Then there was a stretch I started calling everybody ladies because it hit me. The term boys doesn't really matter. It isn't a gender thing because a portion of that female audience stuck around, and I realized my channel is for people who are unhappy with life but won't paint a wall. The sex and gender don't matter. The circumstances and general vibe about existence is what matters. And the reason I stuck with boys instead of staying with ladies is memes. two memes in particular, and there is something warm and communal about them both. First one is Saturday night is for the boys, and the second one is, are you watching porn all by yourself? Nah, I'm with my boys. Are you slaving your life away all by yourself? Nah, I'm with my boys. That's why we use boys, that's what it means. And how do you elevate your boys? Well, I think once you have enough money and status and can make things happen, your name can make things happen, you try to give them opportunities to do what they're good at, to get publicity, to make money, or just to get them exposure. That's why I like doing interviews. That's why I occasionally review small independent projects or try to promote people. I don't have much sway on anything, but I can at least help a little bit. Help people I like get further. If I ever get capital S successful, that's what I would like to do. Collaborate with people, get people with talent some money, or at least get them out of a situation they don't want to be in, because nothing is worse than feeling trapped and feeling like that trappedness will be all life will ever be. In the end, all I want is for people to like me while I'm here and miss me when I'm gone. Again, it's bad form to talk about things before you have them, but I suspect enough pieces are in the right places. This could become something with a bit of stick-with-itedness. Growing up, I had tons of ideas for how to do all these different big things that I dreamed of, and every time people would find reasons not to try. And like an idiot, I believed them. Maybe they were right, probably they were right, but I'll never know because I never tried. With this one, there are enough things in the right places, I think it could go somewhere. I will let you know more in the next 3 to 6 months, once we've overcome this next month of challenges and laid enough groundwork to start taking serious moves in the future. But that about ribbity wraps this one up. I hope you enjoyed watching, because I certainly enjoyed making it. Weird video, but we're in a weird place. We will see what happens. Like if you enjoyed, because it helps me out a lot. Subscribe if you haven't, because we do this shit sometimes. And comment your thoughts, because I love hearing from you. What are your big dreams and aspirations? Do the components seem to fit? What are some of your biggest failures? I'm reminded of the thing Patrice said about dreams. There's something you do with yourself, because if you tell other people, they will treat you like you're stupid. But thanks again for watching, everybody. Really, we have a lot of fun on this channel. So much fun, in fact, you can squeeze it fresh over a glass of ice and drink your fresh fun, which will not quench your thirst or make you feel any better. In fact, it'll make you feel a little nauseous. But it is nice, and it is fun, and one day it'll taste right. That's how much fun we have on this channel, and I look forward to doing this with you guys again in the future.